Hello, welcome everyone. As you all know, we are here for 21 days GCSE free crash course, and this is the first day of it. I have shared the timetable in my introduction video as well, and I am sharing here as well right now. You can clearly see today we'll be doing in mathematics 3D, 2D trigonometry, and sine cosine rule. I have designed it such that I will not take too much time in clearing the concepts. I'll try to clear it in an easier way, and when we'll be doing worksheets, the worksheets will not have too many questions. So I'm starting here 2D and 3D. It's combined in a single video. I'll explain. So let me start. Definitely we'll start with 2D trigonometry first. 2D trigonometry. See, in trigonometry it's a vast subject, but here we will be studying where we can apply the trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions are sin, cos and tan. Important thing is these three are applicable only in right triangle. Don't get confused. I have seen, because I have been tutoring for the last 5 years, so I have tutored so many students. I know some common mistakes. So first is you have to look out whether it's a right angle triangle or not, because trigonometry you can apply in both sort of triangles. Sine rule, cosine rules are applicable in all types of triangle, whereas if these functions, trigonometric functions I'm talking about, ratios, sin, cos, tan, they are applicable only in right triangle. So this is your right triangle. To understand which side is opposite, which side is adjacent, and which side is hypotenuse, this one is easier. Definitely, if this is a 90 degree, the side opposite to right angle is always your hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the longest side as well as the side opposite to 90 degree angle. If I see the side opposite to 90 degree, this is your hypotenuse. So let me just write down how can you know hypotenuse. This is side opposite to 90 degree. Now the adjacent and the opposite will be decided on the angle they are asking. Suppose they are asking angle this, then the side that is attached with this angle will be your adjacent. So this will be adjacent, and the side which goes opposite to this angle will be opposite. That means this one is the opposite. So you can say this one's opposite. And why? Because this is side opposite to angle which is there in the question. Similarly, if I draw another triangle, and let me change the angle now. This is 90 degrees and this one, now this angle I'm talking about. So again you have to say that the side opposite to 90 degree is going to be your hypotenuse. If this angle they are asking now, this is x, so the side which is connected with this angle is this one. Definitely this is going to be adjacent, as the name suggests, just adjacent to it. So that means the attached which is near to that one is adjacent, and side opposite to the angle, so it's going to be opposite. This is very important to know which one is opposite and which one is hypotenuse and adjacent. Now let me see three trigonometric functions, or we can say trigonometric ratios. So it's sin theta is opposite over hypotenuse, cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan theta is opposite over adjacent. Now let me see how can we apply this one. I'll take 2-3 simple questions and one difficult question. Let me see this triangle. This is a right triangle. In this, it's given as 30 degrees, and this length is given as 13 centimeters. We have to calculate this centimeter, the value x. What we have to do first, we have to see what all these sides are. That means define what is adjacent, hypotenuse, and opposite. So definitely the side opposite to 30-degree is going to be opposite. So this is opposite. Side opposite to 90-degree angle is hypotenuse. So the remaining is definitely adjacent. Now what is given? Hypotenuse is given and opposite they are asking. These two sides you have to mention. Which is given, which one they are asking. Hypotenuse is given and opposite is they are asking. So which trigonometric ratio is combining hypotenuse and opposite? So you can clearly see this is sine. So I have to apply sine. On applying sine and sine 30 degrees, because angle is given as 30. This is opposite over hypotenuse. Sine 30 is half. Opposite is x. And hypotenuse is 13. So x will be 6.5 centimeters. In this way you can calculate the side. See, for a non-calculator paper, if you can learn the angles, it would be better. There are just, it's a very simple way to learn. So let me do some questions, then I'll show you how can you learn some particular values for sine, cos and tan. The next question is like this. See this one. In this triangle, BC, length BC is, that means this length is given as 10 centimeters, and they are asking to calculate AB. Again, let me see which one is opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse. This one is right angle triangle, clearly. This one doesn't seem to be right angle. This doesn't seem to be right angle. If they haven't mentioned, then this is definitely going to be a right angle triangle. So the side opposite to this angle is hypotenuse. So I can say this is hypotenuse. Then which angle they are asking? ABC. ABC, that means this angle they have mentioned. So side just that is connected with 60 degree will be adjacent. That means this one is adjacent, remaining is opposite. We have to see what is given and what they are asking. Adjacent is given and AB is hypotenuse, so hypotenuse is they are asking. That means you have to go for cos theta, because cos theta is the ratio that connects the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So I'll apply cos 60 degrees is adjacent over hypotenuse. Cos 60 is half, adjacent is 10, hypotenuse. So hypotenuse comes out to be 20 centimeters. This was about finding missing side. Now let me see how can we find the missing angle. So if it's a non-calculator paper, you should learn some values, and if it's a calculator paper, so you just simply need your calculator. Like here cos 60 degrees, if it's a calculator, so you just need to press cos and in brackets you have to write 60. So you will get the value of cos 60. Let me move on to the next part, that is where we have to find the missing angle. To find the missing angle, you have to use inverse. Sine inverse, cos inverse, tan inverse. Inverse, that means you will see a negative sign up there. Either on your calculator you can directly see this one, or you have to press shift and the sin to get sine -1, that is sine inverse. Shift and cos to get cos -1, that is cos inverse. and shift 10 to get tan inverse, which is tan negative 1. So let me see. In this question, x is the missing angle. What sides are given? Again, we have to do the same thing, labeling them. So the side opposite to 90 degree is definitely hypotenuse. The side which is attached with the angle is this, definitely. So this is going to be adjacent and the remaining is opposite. What two sides are given? In terms of whenever we find the missing angle, definitely they will give you the two sides. If two angles are already given, then it would be very easy. You can apply angle sum property. But if the two sides are given, it would be very easy for us to calculate the missing angle. We have to say which two sides are given. Hypotenuse, adjacent, opposite. Okay, so adjacent and opposite is given. So we have to see which trigonometric ratios connects opposite and adjacent. That is tan theta. So I have to apply tan theta. That means tan x, this x. So tan x is opposite over adjacent. What's the value of opposite given? It's 10 and adjacent is 12, which will give you 10x as 0.833 recurring. So let me say 0.83. Now, what we have to do? We know that 10x is equals to 0.83. But after that, to calculate x, I need to take the inverse. That means x will be tan inverse 0.83. If it would be sine, so it will become sine inverse 0.83. Cos inverse, which inverse you are using, that will change the angle completely. So tan inverse 0.83. That's the correct way. So as I told you, either on your calculator you can see tan inverse directly, or press shift and then 10, and in brackets you have to write 0.83. Final answer will be 39.4 degrees. In this way we can calculate the missing angle. Now let me see one question that's going to combine these two concepts. See this question. We have a triangle, a bigger triangle ABC. DC is given as 10 centimeters. Two angles are given and they are asking AB. That means this side they are asking. Clearly we can see this right angle. Wherever we see right angle, that means okay, we have to go to apply trigonometric ratios. There are two right angles triangle, that is first and second. That means we have to use them separately. Ultimately we have to find AB, but to find AB at least I should know two sides or one side, one angle. Two combinations are required. It can be two sides as well, it can be one side, one angle as well, but at least we should know either of this combination, which we don't have. That means I need one side, and for that I need triangle 1. That will be helpful. So important thing is what we have to do exactly, what we have to calculate exactly. If I need a side for triangle 2 and I'm taking help from triangle 1, that means at least one side should be common. That side will help me in calculation of the other side. Simple. We have to look out which side is common in both the triangle, and that is side BD. So this is going to help me. We first have to calculate BD. So only look your right triangle, that is this one. Both are right angle triangle, but I'm talking about the right side, that is the triangle 1. If I see the triangle 1, this is the angle. So definitely this is going to be opposite. And side attached to that angle will be adjacent. And side opposite to the 90 degree is hypotenuse. So in triangle BDC, I have to see which is given, adjacent is given. And what we have to calculate? We have to calculate opposite, BD. So that means opposite. So what I'll apply? Tan theta. So tan 50 degrees will give me opposite over adjacent. 10, 50 is same, just press 10 in brackets, write 50, you will get 1.19 as the answer. So 1.19 equals opposite over adjacent. Now cross multiply, you will get opposite is equals to 10 into 1.191. So answer is 11.91 centimeters. This is the value of, or we can write up to one decimal place as 11.9 centimeters. This is the value of BD. We now have one known side in triangle 2. Only focus on triangle 2. Whenever you will see the combination of two triangles, you have to work like that. So only look out the triangle BDA. Here, which again I have to see which one is opposite, which one is adjacent. This angle is given. So this angle opposite is this. Adjacent is the side that is connected with this angle, that is adjacent. Third one is definitely your hypotenuse, or you can clearly see the side opposite to 90 degrees hypotenuse. What they are asking find AB, that means hypotenuse they are asking. So in this hypotenuse they are asking, and what is given? BD, that we just calculated, that is opposite. Only look out the left triangle, that is the triangle 2. We have opposite. The ratio that connects hypotenuse and opposite is sin. So sin 30 degrees is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Sin 30 is half. Opposite is just calculated 11.9 over hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is 11.9 into 2. Answer is 23.8 centimeters. We'll do one more questions on combination of missing angle and side. Okay, before I start this question, there is a suggestion. This is very important. You know now the concept. We have done few questions as well. So now pause this question, try it on your own, and then resume this video and see the solution. But try it on your own first, because while watching the video, you have to simultaneously do the practice. That will definitely help you. You can pause the questions, try it on your own, and then resume it. So it says a man standing at point C can see the point A with angle of elevation as 30 degrees. See, angle of elevation, that means if you are looking up somewhere, that is your elevation, because your eyes are above your eye level. Whereas if you are watching something down there, okay, below, then it will be called as angle of depression. So angle of elevation, that means this is 30 degrees given. Find the angle of elevation when he see the point B. When he see the point B, that means here they are looking. And this is the eye level. So the angle that it will make with the eye level will be angle of elevation. That means we have to calculate this whole angle. Now, let me see which two triangles we have, because here we can see it's a 90 degrees. And obviously it's definitely going to be 90 degree. A tower is a perpendicular to the ground. So it's going to be 90 degree, and there are two 90 degrees angle here. Triangle ADC, the smaller one, this one, and triangle BDC, this bigger triangle. So let me see how can we apply in a smaller triangle. So triangle ADC, I'll definitely start with the smaller triangle because I know the maximum thing from there. So whatever will have the maximum perimeter will start from there. Here we know CD, we know one angle, so obviously I'll start with the smaller triangle. Same thing whenever we have a right triangle, just start labeling it. So this one is hypotenuse, because this is definitely a side opposite to 90 degrees. Now which angle is given? We have this angle. So the side connected to that angle will be adjacent, and the remaining is definitely opposite. So what is given? Definitely adjacent is given to us. And what we have to calculate? See, if you're going to calculate AC, it's of no use because I need something that will prove to be helpful in my second triangle. And AC is definitely not a part of our bigger triangle. Our bigger triangle is this. AC is not a part of this. So no point of calculating AC. Let me calculate AD. And AD is opposite. So which two connects? Tan theta. So tan theta connect adjacent and opposite. So I'll write tan 30 degrees is opposite over adjacent. Tan 30 is 1 over root 3. Opposite and adjacent is 10. So on cross multiplying, I assume you all know how to cross multiply, how to solve simple fractions. So opposite is 10 over root 3. This is 10 over root 3. Now we have to look for the bigger triangle. For a bigger triangle, we should know this angle. Let me see what we have already. In this bigger triangle that I'm now focusing on, this bigger triangle, clearly CD is adjacent because this angle we are looking for. So the side that is connected to this angle is going to be adjacent. So this will be adjacent. Again it's adjacent. Side opposite to 90 degree is hypotenuse and remaining will be opposite. If you see the bigger triangle, this one, this whole height we know, which is 2 root 3 plus 10 root 3. So that means opposite is known. It's 2 root 3 plus 10 over root 3. We have adjacent, which is 10 centimeters. Now we can calculate the angle, which is what will apply? Definitely we will apply tan theta because opposite and adjacent is known. So let's say tan C, this whole angle be C. So tan C is equals to opposite over adjacent. Tan C is equals to opposite is 2 root 3 plus 10 over root 3 over adjacent is 10. If you solve this, if you put the values in calculator, this will be 9.23, or you can directly use root 3, the value of root 3 there. So it will be 9.23 over 10. How I got 9.23? Because in place of root 3, I use 1.732. So it will become 2.1.732 plus 10 divided by 1.732. So it gave me this value. And this is equals to 10C. So 10C is equals to 0.923. So when we have to calculate angle, we just saw we have to do tan inverse. Whenever we calculate angle, it will be inverses. That means tan inverse, sin inverse, cos inverse. Because here we have 10, so I'll apply tan inverse. So C is equals to tan inverse 0.923. Answer is 42.7. This is final angle of elevation. So this is about the 2D trigonometry. You can solve any type of 2D trigonometry. Revise this because tomorrow we'll be doing practice on these questions. But before that, let me revise Pythagoras theorem, and I know that you all are aware of that. Pythagoras theorem doesn't involve any angle. But for Pythagoras theorem, it's only about the side, but the triangle should be right angle triangle. So this is a right angle triangle. And if you know any known two sides, you can easily calculate the third side. How? Because Pythagoras theorem says same thing, because this is 90 degrees, so it is going to be hypotenuse. Here there are two different legs. We cannot say which one is opposite, which one is adjacent until unless angle is not mentioned. So I can say this as A and this as B. So the Pythagoras theorem says the sum of a square of two sides of a triangle is always equals to the square of hypotenuse, always. That means, and even hypotenuse is the longest side. So sum of square of two sides is always equals to hypotenuse. That means, suppose your triangle is like this, and the question is there, it's given as 5 centimeters. This is given as 4 centimeter. You have to calculate this one. So applying Pythagoras theorem, I know that this is 90 degrees. So 5 centimeter is hypotenuse. This can be named as A, this can be named as B. So according to Pythagoras theorem, A squared plus B squared should be hypotenuse squared. We have one side which is 4 squared plus B squared is equals to hypotenuse squared. Hypotenuse is 5. So 4 squared plus B squared is equals to 5 squared. That means this is 16 plus B squared is equals to 25. On transposing, it will go there. B squared is 25 minus 16. Always remember to minusing it. This will give you 9. So if B squared is 9, take root to both the sides. This will be B is plus 3 and negative 3. Whenever we take root, we always get two different answers, in positive and negative. Definitely side can never be negative. So B is 3. This is how you can apply Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem involves the sides only. As I told you, let me move on to the 3D trigonometry. So let me start the 3D trigonometry. 3D trigonometry is nothing, only your figure will be 3D, but the concepts are exactly the same. That means same trigonometric ratios you have to apply. Here you can see it's a prism, and the question is to calculate the volume of the prism. Always try to go in a reverse order whenever you solve any question. That means since they are asking you to calculate the volume, so first I'll write the definition or the formula for the volume of prism. And we know it's area of face multiplied by length. Area of face, that means this is our face. So we have to calculate area of triangle. So look out this triangle. We know the area of triangle is half times base times height. Base is given as here 12 centimeters. So if this base is given as 12 centimeters, we can calculate its height. So to calculate its height, I am dropping a perpendicular like this. This will help me in calculating the height. Height is always your vertical height, which is perpendicular to the base. This is 90 degrees. Okay, now I got a 90-degree triangle. That means let I say this be O. So in triangle OCB. If you know 2D trigonometry, 3D trigonometry is quite easy for you to solve. Now triangle OCB. Just think, in triangle OCB, we have OB. Why? Because it's midpoint. Whenever we draw, because it's an like isosceles triangle, here we can see. So when I draw a perpendicular, that means that perpendicular is going to be the midpoint as well, like perpendicular bisector. So this is 6 centimeters and this part is 6 centimeters as well, because whole AB is given as 12 centimeters. So now each part will become 6 and 6. Then only look out for this triangle. I'm talking about CBO triangle. So triangle OCB or COB, what we have, same thing. The side opposite to 90 degree is hypotenuse. So I can say this is hypotenuse. Now the side that is connected with your angle, this 30 degrees adjacent, this is adjacent. And this is opposite. We have to calculate vertical height, which is opposite in this case. So we know adjacent, that is 6 centimeter. We need opposite. So adjacent and opposite is connected by 10. So I can apply 10 30 degrees is equals to opposite over adjacent. 10 30 is 1 over root 3. Opposite is, we have to calculate, adjacent is 6. So I can say opposite is 6 over root 3 centimeters. Now I can easily calculate the area of this triangle, which is half times base times height. Half for this whole triangle I'm talking about. For whole triangle, base is 12 centimeters and height we just calculated, which is 6 over root 3. Answer is 36 over root 3 centimeters squared, or in decimal answer will be, this is 20.78 centimeter squared. Now the next is, to calculate we should know the length up to which this whole prism or each face has been stretched. That means we have to calculate this length. This length is a part of this triangle that I'm highlighting, this triangle. And what is this triangle? This is triangle CBF. I'm writing here because we have figure actually. So in triangle CBF. So to calculate this length, I have one angle which is 50 degrees, but I don't have any other side. Either I should know the CF or should know CB will help me. CF doesn't seems to be like I can get the value, but CB I can, because CB is also a part of the other triangle. That means triangle COB. So right, I can apply here. So now first let me apply in triangle COB. See, if you work in opposite way, then there are high chances you'll end up getting the correct answer. So here COB, in triangle COB, I have to calculate CB. Same, CB is what? Hypotenuse. We already have adjacent. I'll apply cos 30. So cos 30 degrees is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. This is root 3 over 2. Adjacent is 6. Hypotenuse we don't know. Cross multiplying will get hypotenuse as 12 root over root 3. So this is your hypotenuse. That means CV we have calculated. In this triangle, this is also actually a right angle triangle. In this triangle, that means I'm applying here in triangle CBF, I can say that why this is 90 degree, because each side of a prism, like face, depends. Here triangular prisms of face is a triangle and other sides are rectangle, and rectangle all the sides are 90 degrees. That's why this is 90 degree. So in triangle CBF, what we have, this is now the hypotenuse and everything will change. Side opposite to 90 degrees hypotenuse. Don't get confused, I know, because there are so many figures, so maybe you got confused, but if you focus on single thing, that it will be very easy to understand. Now in triangle CBF, only look out this triangle CBF, we have 90 degree. That means the side opposite to 90 degrees hypotenuse. When you are picking one triangle, focus on that single triangle. That the side that is connected with the angle is adjacent, and this is definitely opposite. Opposite we have just calculated. Adjacent we have to calculate. So opposite we know, adjacent we have to calculate, and angle is given. So that connects adjacent and opposite is 10. So I can apply 10 50 degrees is equals to opposite over adjacent. Here now see, opposite is what we just calculated, that is 12 over root 3 over adjacent. This can be written as, or we can do the cross multiplication and make the subject right here. So it will become adjacent into 1050 is equals to opposite, and adjacent is equals to opposite over 1050. Opposite is 12 over root 3. Let me find the value of 12 over root 3. So this is 6.93. So I can say that this opposite is same, this one CB, which is 6.93. So adjacent is 6.93 over. So final answer will be 5.82 centimeters. If you haven't prepared 3D before, you might be thinking, okay, it's tough, I can't do an exam. No, you know trigonometry, you can do it. Just you have to take one triangle at a time. That's all you have to do. And when you join all the pieces together, you'll get the answer. Just like here, we have calculated the area of triangle and length. Just put the answers and we'll get it. So area of triangle is half times base times height, that we have calculated 20.78. Into length, we just calculated 5.82. Just multiply them together, you'll get the volume. Final answer is 120.93 centimeter cubed. For trigonometry, we will be doing two questions. One in which the angles are included, and the second will be doing in which no angle is included. That means you have to apply Pythagoras theorem in that case. So let me see the other question. Now see this question. As I told you, here there is no involvement of angle. You can see that. Instead, the sides are given. That means clearly, and because it's a cuboid, so every triangle that you will see here will be a right angle triangle, because all the end sides are 90 degrees, as a cuboid is a combination of rectangles. So, as I told you, we always have to, the approach to solve any question is go in a reverse order. See what they are asking. They are asking you to calculate GM. First, locate where GM is. This one. If this is GM, it's a trigonometry, no angle, that means Pythagoras. I have to apply Pythagoras, so I need to find the triangle in which GM is a part. GM should be one of its side of that triangle, and clearly that triangle is triangle GMA. This one. If I want to apply Pythagoras theorem, clearly GM is your hypotenuse, because this is 90 degrees and side opposite to 90 degrees is your hypotenuse. So I can say GM squared is equals to GA squared plus AM squared. GA squared plus AM squared. This should be equals to the square of the hypotenuse. Let me see whether we have GA, AM or not. So GA, it's not mentioned anywhere. For AM, AM separately it not mentioned, but they have mentioned that M is the midpoint and the whole AB is given as 12 centimeters. If M is a midpoint, AB is 12 centimeters, so I can say this be 6 centimeters. So AM is 6 centimeters. So at least we know AM, which is 6 centimeter. What we have to do now? We have to find GA. That gives us idea. So that we have to do, always start with the reverse order. It keeps on giving you idea where you have to proceed. So GA. Now GA, that means this one. Apart from this triangle, I need to see GA is a part of which other triangle. GA is a part of this triangle. You can easily calculate this. If it seems to be like a little bit tougher to find, you can say this one. You can pick FB as well. If not, you can just simply pick GA. So I'm applying Pythagoras theorem here as well, because this is also 90 degrees as it's a rectangle. GHAD, that means this whole is also a rectangle. Every side of a cuboid is a rectangle. So I can say when I apply in triangle GHA, I can say G is 90 degrees. So, and side opposite to G is this one, AH. That is your hypotenuse. So again applying Pythagoras theorem, I can say GH squared is equals to, GH squared plus GA squared is equals to AH squared. Why I said AH is hypotenuse? Because this is opposite to 90 degrees. How I get to know G is a 90 degrees? Because all the endpoints or the edges, like where the edges are meeting, they are 90 degrees in a rectangle. So GH squared will be equals to AH squared minus GA squared. Let me see what is given. GH, or let we don't do any rearranging as of now. GH is given as 5 centimeters. So 5 squared plus GA we have to calculate. And AH is this. So here we can see GH is given as 3 centimeters. So 3 squared plus GA squared, and AH is given as 5 centimeters squared. So GA squared is 5 centimeters squared minus 3 squared. That is GA squared is 16 and GA is 4 centimeters. If GA is 4 centimeters, now I can put GA right here. So GM squared is equals to, even we don't need to do any rooting because GA squared is directly 16. So I can put 16 here plus 36, which will give you 52. So root is root 52. So ultimately GM will be 2 root 13 centimeters. So this is the approach. See, definitely if you will be understanding these questions, you can solve any question in 2D or 3D trigonometry. That means like in 3D trigonometry or any question, I'm again saying you have to go in a reverse order, and one by one you get to know that how you have to proceed. And for trigonometry, you have to keep on looking for the triangles. You have to see, okay, if I want to calculate here, take an example, because the main question was to calculate GM. So first locate GM is a part of which triangle, then apply Pythagoras theorem. So in this way, you can easily understand this. Tomorrow we'll be doing worksheet on it, and it will definitely gonna help you. Only just go through these questions, and when we'll be doing worksheets, do the questions with me. It will be more than enough. And keep revising things like daily you have to revise. Definitely just go through it once. It will take hardly 5 minutes. So before you go to sleep, just revise 5 minutes each topic. Today we'll be doing 3 topics, 3 different videos. So revise those 3 videos in 15-20 minutes and go to sleep. Similarly, do it tomorrow, and after every 4 days revise all of the things that you have done in those 4 days. So it's definitely gonna help you. So that's it for today, and in the next video we'll be doing sine rule and cosine rule. Thank you. Bye.